Sir, unmute, sir. Jatinder sir, your voice is not audible. Unmute your mic.
Someone wants to join this call. Use quote show everyone quote to admit or deny, and you can now join this meeting.
Jatinder sir, unmute your mic. Sir, your voice is not coming. Please kindly unmute your mic.
Iris Ramadas and 2 others can now join this meeting.
Sir, ଆପଣଙ୍କ କଥା ଶୁଭା ଯାଉନି, unmute କରନ୍ତୁ mic କୁ।
सुबिला सर
Visible. Use window switcher to focus.
सर सुबिला की
Yes, sir.
Sir, sir.
Zero can now join this meeting.
एबे हला
Yes, sir. Now it's audible, sir.
Switcher to focus.
ओके थैंक यू सर थैंक यू
You go ahead, sir.
गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग नाइस टू मीट यू today let us discuss some important things of MEG. What problems you usually come upon at the time of reading this MEG. We should start this talk from your problem so that I can proceed and we can discuss on that matter. And I know that through this process we can able to solve your problems. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, thank you. So MEG usually stands for discussing some important dramas of British literature, right? And we have Shakespeare, Marlowe, and we have T.S. Eliot. 9 plays are there with us to get prepared for examination. Actually, we may not get time to discuss all this matter. I think I should discuss some important affairs of MEG2 so that you can get a lot of benefit out of that. So have you attended any class on MEG2?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Actually, hello. It's a British drama. I should say drama is a reflection of society in terms of theater and action. Theater and action, the things usually taking place in our surrounding, in our family, all the things that takes place with us, we come upon that situations and we write that in terms of drama. Actually, all the branches of literature may have certain importance, but the effect of drama is more than all the branches of literature. So why drama is very important? Because we usually come upon our lives in drama. We meet our dear and dears, we meet our relatives, we meet the situations of our own life, and we come upon all these things through characters, through descriptions. Drama has its own impact, has its very deep effect on the mind of audience and readers than any other branches of literature. In poetic, it's Aristotle described the same thing. We have epic and we have long narrative poetry. But epic, if you take examples of Milton's Paradise Lost, if you take examples of Mahabharata, you can come upon several sorts of things that is related to our day-to-day life and day-to-day activities. Economical problems are there that is being discussed in drama. Educational problems are there and that is discussed there. Literature discussed there, and politics, political affairs are discussed there. So what not? I want to let you know that if you read Mahabharata, you can understand, and it is very difficult to conclude what type of literature Mahabharata is. Whether it's a drama, whether it's a poetry, whether it's a novel, whether any of the branches, whether it's an issue, anything you can name to this epic, because it contributes everything. It bears all the characteristics of all branches of novel, all branches of literature. So it has very deep effect on the mind of audience and readers. And we are studying English or British literature. And particularly if we come to William Shakespeare, then we can come upon that tragedy and comedy. Actually, after tragedy and comedy, we have other varieties of plays like tragicomedy, historical plays, and absurd plays. But actually, absurdity we don't find with Shakespeare. And as it is the first class, and I should let you know that what important things or aspects that we find with Shakespeare's drama. Actually, in Shakespeare tragedy, hero plays important role. And if you see comedy, comedy gives importance on woman character or the heroine, plays important role in Shakespeare's comedy, right? And Shakespeare's play usually deals with, or the plot is discussed with 6 points. Tragedy basically deals with 6 points. You can say exposition, then rise to action, then climax, fall in action, and anticlimax. You may say that, then catastrophe. And the basic thing that we know about drama, the things happens and takes place as per the expectation of audience and readers. And we can find union of characters or understanding, mutual understanding of characters at the end of the play. But in tragedy, that does not happen. The drama that ends in sorrowfully, unhappily, it is beyond the expectation of the audience. And you may come back from that theater shedding tears from your eyes. Because in tragedy, we feel the situations took place when we were observing that play. We took that heartily. And you must remember, we all remember the things or the situations that takes place to our life sorrowfully. We remember that things forever. The happiest moment of the life may not be remembered, but the tragic moment of life is always remembered. So tragedy has much power. Tragedy usually has great impact on the mind of audience and readers. So when we read the tragedy of William Shakespeare, we come upon exposition. Shakespeare is exceptional. We can find this thing with Shakespeare, but not with other dramatists, because all the characters are introduced in exposition, right? But if you read the drama of other dramatists, whenever you change the act and scene, you may come upon new characters, and situation arise that who is this new one and what sorts of relationship he has with other characters. This sorts of complication, this sorts of complacency will arise at the time of watching the drama or reading the play. But this does not happen in case of William Shakespeare. So if you go through that writing, you can come upon all the characters in first act. They are introduced and you know their relationship with each other, and you may not find a new characters in second act, right? And always in Shakespeare play, two stories move. One, the main story, or that happens with the main plot, and subplot, another story that moves in subplot simultaneously. Two stories take place. And if you see that in Midsummer Night's Dream, that Theseus is the important person, is the first king of Athens, and Titania, his queen, and there the main characters. and other characters added to them one after another. You may have Hermia, you may have Lysander, you may have Demetrius, you may have Helena, Aegeus, so many characters, that is Oberon. You see, other characters are there. The story of Oberon is moving in one hand, in the other hand, the story of Athens, Theseus, and Titania, that is moving in one way. And Lysander, Demetrius, Helena, Hermia, their story is moving in one way. So it's a moving of parallelly, it's a progress of two stories in the play, right? That you want to know that what story, what drama I am discussing with you. I am giving you introduction to the plays of William Shakespeare. Actually, today I like to discuss Hamlet. And Hamlet is the tragedy of William Shakespeare, right? And I want to discuss some important things of Hamlet, right? That in Hamlet, Hamlet is a longest play. Out of tragedies, King Lear, Hamlet, Othello, very important plays of William Shakespeare, right? Macbeth, and it's the longest play and very admirable play, Hamlet. Okay, in Hamlet, you see, Hamlet is the main character, and we have two Hamlets here. One is Ghost Hamlet. It's the father of young Hamlet, Prince Hamlet, who is dead, who is assassinated by his young brother Claudius, right? And young Hamlet is with us. So all the situations, he's the pivotal point, pivotal or important characters. All the situations, all the characters are moving around Hamlet, right? So in Hamlet, it is the space that is called meta theater. It's a space that you find, right? And that is based on friendship, madness, and revenge. So one dialogue of Hamlet is there: to be and not to be. So to be, not to be, Hamlet is in this dwindling position. Okay, any question someone asked that? Again, I'd like to know that questions that being asked by one of the learners to know from me, and it disappeared immediately. Any questions regarding this matter that you want to know from me? So Hamlet, the basic thing that most of times you'll find this question, that to be and not to be. And the condition of Hamlet, that's based on friendship, madness, and revenge. Hamlet has come to Denmark after death of his father. Okay, Priti was asking some questions. Please.
Yes,
Add
sir.
to me.
So you were mentioning, you mentioned drama and the theater, these two terms. So can you differentiate between the two?
Okay. Sorry, please, you just,
So I was asking about the terms drama and theater, how they both are different from each other.
so actually, theater that is staged, and that is played on the stage, and drama that is that is played on the stage, and all the dramas that being read, being written by William Shakespeare, we can also read that drama, right? We have dialogues, we have plots, we have main plots, we have subplots, right? There is unit of time, unit of place, unit of actions. So many things are there. But to read something theoretically and to watch something, the same thing on the stage and theater, it is not a drama. Theater is a place where drama is staged, right? You must have heard the name of Annapurna Theater. Theater, all sorts of arrangements are made there, how the drama will be staged. Okay, so the thing is like this, and we can differentiate drama from other branches of literature. You have dialogue in drama, and you may not have dialogues in poetry, you may not have dialogue in essay, you may not have dialogue in other branches of literature. Other characters are there, but they don't have their own voice. But you can have the voice of the characters here, and they are playing their roles. The actor and actress, they are playing their role on the theater, and we watch them. So they have direct impact. If you read a poem, you can realize that, you try to understand that. But when you come upon the things taking place on in the theater, you can understand that. It will have direct impact on your mind. And you receive that with the heart, right? So no need of any medium, no need of any middleman to make you understand the things that is taking place on the stage. And for that reason, I was telling you that in exposition scene and exposition act, Shakespeare is the only dramatist who always take care of placing all the characters whom you may meet first to last, all the characters you can come upon in exposition act. And this may not happen in other dramatists. Whenever you come upon new acts, you will come upon new characters. This is the thing. And here, that the drama we are discussing here, Hamlet. Hamlet is the young prince of Denmark, and he was studying in Wittenberg University, and he was brought to Denmark after death of his father, and he was in contemplative mood, and he was in a lamentation at the death of his father, and Horatio, who was only trustful friend of Hamlet, and it was uh, two soldiers, two soldiers. It was two soldiers who come upon the ghost for the first time, and it is Marcellus and Bernardo who come upon the ghost for the first time. And this news reached with Horatio. Horatio gave this news to Hamlet that the old Hamlet, or the old King Hamlet, the king of Denmark, actually he died not naturally. or it was not natural death to old King Hamlet. He was killed by his younger brother Claudius. And Claudius was a very, uh, actually, he was a Roman agent, we should say, and he had very strong appetite of sex, had a certain affair with the wife of old King Hamlet. It was Gertrude, the queen of old Hamlet, and killing to his elder brother Gertrude. It was Claudius, the younger brother of old Hamlet, married to Gertrude. This is the thing. You see, so this type of things that we find with these two characters, the most important, because I may not get time to mention these points, that Shakespeare drama based on character is destiny. But in Greek tragedy, we find destiny is character. Destiny is character. Can you understand what destiny is character and what character is destiny? I gave you example of Claudius and Gertrude. Claudius was the younger brother of Hamlet, and Gertrude was his sister-in-law. When he killed to his elder brother and married to his sister-in-law, they became king and queen of Denmark now, right? So Hamlet has come. He was brought to Denmark, and when he was sitting in his room, lamentation, Horatio, the true friend, who came to give him information that your father died not natural death. Rather, he was killed by your uncle Claudius. I was talking to you that character is destiny and destiny is character. What you do, it will become your fate tomorrow. What you do now, your today's action will be tomorrow's fate or destiny. But if you go through Greek tragedy, Sophocles, then you come upon that what is there in your destiny, you will have to come upon that. You just cannot avoid that, and that will take place to your life. Okay, and this is the common thing. But Shakespeare has presented this new thought, new terms, which is practicable, which is more scientific than Greek tragedy. We also accept this thing in 21st century, that as you sow, so shall you reap. So today's action is tomorrow's fate. And the same thing happened in case of Claudius and Gertrude. Claudius mad after love. He was mad after love. He fell in love of Gertrude, and he thought it is not possible to make or reciprocate any affairs with Gertrude if my elder brother, would alive. Anyhow, I have to end the life of old Hamlet if I want to keep or establish permanent relationship with sister-in-law Gertrude. You see, this is a crime. Younger brother, when he kills to his elder brother, it's a crime. And the action that we find with Claudius, that he marries to his sister-in-law, Gertrude. This is action. Okay. And he earned his fate here. He earned his future time here by doing this nuisance activities, by doing these criminal works. And this information actually was not given by Horatio, but Horatio gave this information to Hamlet. You please come to orchard where old Hamlet is wandering, is roaming here and there, and he wanted to meet you there. So Hamlet went to meet the ghost of old Hamlet. I mean the ghost of his father uh, in orchard. And when Hamlet proceeded to meet the ghost appeared before him, and he motivated Prince Hamlet. My dear son, you do not know that how I was killed. Actually, I have not, I died not a natural death. Rather, I was poisoned, right? My younger brother, the present king, Claudius, poured the bottle of poison in my ear. So I died. And this is an assassination. And if you are my son, I expect the revenge of your father's murder. It would give me much pleasure if you take revenge of the murderer of your father. And Hamlet then come back. He could not believe. How could he believe the word of a ghost? And this is this thought that you can realize now, that to be and not to be. That whether he should believe to the word of a ghost, having no body, the voice comes from air with just a shadow appearance of his father, old Hamlet. And so this became a problem for him. He is in between. He is in between truth and false, right? Reality. It's in dubious condition. It's in middle two. Should we believe? Should we believe to? Should we believe to old father, the ghost of his father,
Excuse me, sir.
or he should believe? Okay.
Some students are in waiting room.
Is there any question for me? Okay, you can help him joining this meeting.
Sir, only the host will be allowed to let them in.
So actually, I have very little knowledge regarding this affair, and I do not know whether I am a host, because I am also allowed by Mr. Porilder to join this class. So
Yes, sir.
what,
They are the host actually.
what should I do? You suggest me.
So you can call them and ask them to let them in.
Okay, let us connect with Mr. Porida with the regional center so that you would allow him to join this class. I think that is the only alternative.
Sir, hello.
Discuss not to be condition. This is called to be and not to be. Hello. Hello. Is Mr. Porida
No, sir,
talking to
this is
me?
Chaudhary.
He's waiting for me. I do not know how to let
Sir,
the
जी
client
जी
hear.
administrator ତାଙ୍କୁ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସେ join button ରେ ସେଠି click କରିବା ପାଇଁ permission ସେମାନେ ମାଗିବା ପାଇଁ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରେ।
It's bogey.
What happened? What's your problem?
सर ଯିଏ administrator କି meeting host କରିଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କରି ପାଖରେ notification ଯାଇଥିବ ପିଲାମାନେ ବାହାରେ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିଛନ୍ତି ବୋଲି waiting for the permission to join.
Use Windows with your
ठीक
device.
है।
Okay, let's come back to our discussion. So we found Hamlet in this condition. The condition is whether he should believe the air, the ghost, or to the reality.
Sir, sorry, sir. I have one question regarding this only.
Okay.
Sir, to be or not to be was the line used when Hamlet saw his father's ghost, and then he couldn't decide if he had to take revenge for his death. Right there, in this particular situation, this line was used by Shakespeare, right, sir?
Okay. No, that is the particular situation, but this situation becomes the key situations all times you can come upon, right? Because we have not reached at that stage whenever he has gone to kill his uncle. He found his uncle was in prayer and he come back from that place. And next time when he went to kill Claudius, he found he was in slumber, and he thought, I must kill a person who is in deep slumber, and he come back. Because wherever we go, whatever situation that we come upon in the drama, we find this particular key sentence dialogue applicable everywhere. This is the uniqueness that we find with Shakespeare, right? And you can also analyze this thing. You, because we all are mature, you can analyze, you can also interpret. So because he heard this thing from a ghost and he cannot take that into account, how could he actionize this matter? It will be a problem for him because he's a human being alive. And if he believes the word of ghost, then people will accept him mad. You see, and in that 16th century, we Indians, what we have not achieved in 21st century, they had achieved in during that time, in those days. Okay, so in Macbeth, you'll find a seizuring child, right? And 16th century, there is a process, science developed, and that has been placed in the drama of William Shakespeare during that time. And the process of seizuring, we adopt that in our medical science, in our medical technology, much later, right? You may say that during the time of Susrata and Charaka, we may have that sorts of facilities, but we may not have that sorts of things plentifully available in support of these things, right? But we find with Shakespeare. And your question was, at a particular, at certain point, this dialogue was told by Hamlet, but this is my answer is, it is applicable in every sphere. And this is the situation. For that reason, I am just explaining you. When he wants to take action, because once he had come upon the ghost of his father, he must accept that this is the fact. But he didn't accept that. And he thought that must be artificial. And that may be arranged by someone else, only to motivate him, to convince him, and to know the reality. To know the reality, so he arranged a play, right? In the play, only to draw the conclusion, only to know the truth, only to know the truth. A drama was another, theater was arranged. Okay? And in that theater, Hamlet arranged the theme of the drama in such a way that and he invited king and queen, Gertrude, and the king, Claudius, to watch the drama, watch the theater. And Hamlet was watching the activities of his mother Gertrude and Claudius, of his uncle. And when the drama was staged, he found the reaction. What was the reaction of his uncle? And the elder brother is pouring poison into the ear of his elder brother to kill him, because he wanted, the character wanted to marry the queen of the state. At this situation, he drew a conclusion. Hamlet was observing the activities of the king and queen. They could not tolerate such type of sin that was taking place, the things that they have done in their life. The same thing that is taking place there on the stage. So from that time, to know the reality, he just to came out of that to be and not to be condition. He was not to be, with the belief, with the thought of that the voice of ghost. He could not take that into account. On the other hand, when he arranged the drama and he let the actor and actress play their role, he has designed their plots. And on the stage, the old king and the old king on the stage, he was being poured that poison into his ear by his younger brother. When this was observed by his younger brother, he could not tolerate. The king and queen, they could not tolerate the action being staged on the stage, because the same activities they have done. And now you can tally how the situation is taking place. Character is destiny. As you sow, so shall you reap. And the repentance that's come upon Gertrude, she realized that I have done crime, I've committed this crime, I've killed to my old brother, my elder brother. I married to his wife. I made him my queen. I became the king. So I am a traitor. and repentance is going on. But to save himself, to save his life, he made some designs. He planned some designs. How to save himself, how to save the life of, because after this situation, Hamlet, the things fact. My father died not natural death. My father was poisoned and he was killed by my uncle. But he thought, I must take revenge. And he matched the word of ghost. He found 100% true what he heard previously. And the action just after this is being prepared, being arranged by Hamlet. You see. Now, in this situation, as I was telling to you, he thought I must kill to my uncle Claudius. And I have not given idea of Polonius. Polonius was one of the chamberlain, one of the counselor, right? Very faithful persons to Gertrude. And all times, it's Ophelia, the father, right? Ophelia's father, Polonius, who was the counselor of Gertrude. He that you please keep your eyes on the activities of Hamlet. Now that Hamlet is active to take revenge and Polonius in defense mood. He is in defense mood and Hamlet is in attack mood, right? So this becomes the situation in between nephew and the king or uncle. Now it's Hamlet who tried to kill his uncle because he thought this man or this criminal must not be the king of Denmark. He must be killed. He must suffer for his crime. You see, you can also apply the same technique here, that character is destiny. As he did that work, he must be punished. And it was not his destiny. Gertrude's action made his destiny. Had he not killed to his elder brother, he would not suffer such type of destiny. So, being the student of English literature, you need to know that how Shakespeare play is more modern than Greek play. And that is destiny's character, and here character is destiny. Because two key terms that I mentioned you here, you can also tally that. You can also match that. Now Gertrude is in problem, and she, being the mother, She being the mother, she is in problem. She studied the mind and attitude of her son. And Hamlet is also in revengeful mode his mother too, because his mother accepted the crime of gratitude. So being the mother, so here a culture is reflected. A culture is because I was giving you reference of Mahabharata. When you read an epic, Aristotle's poetic, right? He mentioned in epic, you may come upon the culture of the time, education of the time, economical condition of the time, political situations of time, social affairs of the time, all sorts of activities or scientific development of the time, the prosperity of the time, loophole of the time, all the pros and cons you can come upon when you come upon a situation, come upon an epic or come upon a drama. So here Shakespeare, he reflects the culture, the lifestyle of Western people. As you know that they have their option. They can marry to several men and women. They may not have that problems. That is the style of their life. But we have some constrained lifestyle in India. We always try to judge the situations with Indian eyes, with Indian vision. This is great problem, right? So it's a psychological. A woman, when she becomes a mother, she's always tilted towards her son. She may be, that child may be with her or may not be with her. She may be distanced from her, no matter. But whenever a mother come upon his son and she could understand the problem of her son, right? And Gertrude could able to understand the cause of depression of her son Hamlet. She suspected that a son would not allow her mother to marry to another man other than his father. And a lady, a woman, is psychologically stronger than a man. And a woman could understand the psychology of male very easily, but can't be done by a male person. And Hamlet could not understand whether his mother had deep thought for him or not. But Hamlet, being a male, being a prince, or being a young man, he became very sentimental, very emotional when he came to know the murderer of his father. He thought, I should kill both the king and queen because they are part of that crime. So he went to kill Gertrude. In first attempt, he found him in prayer. I was telling you, giving you this information, that Gertrude was repenting for his activities. He was repenting for the murder of his elder brother, and married to his sister-in-law, Gertrude, and he's praying to God. He's sitting in prayer and he's confessing to God to forgive him, because there is a system of confession. If you confess because in human psychology, we have set up our community in this way. In Hindu community, you have Panchabhutya. And in Christian community, you have to confess. If you confess your crime, then that will disappear. You will not be criminal because you have confessed that, you have exposed that before all. So you are excused. And he was a murderer and he was confessing this, but he was not confessing this before anyone else. There is a room of confession in church. You'll have to go to that place. You have to enter into that room of confession. Other side, opposite side, the Pope must be there. He must be standing there behind. And if you express your confession, then he is there to grant you that blessing. He will grant you that virtue, that you are free from that sin. And this is the system that he was confessing. But he was not confessing that things going to church. He was confessing that in his own place. Right? That was problem. And when Hamlet found him sitting in prayer and repenting for his crime, he thought, the man who is in prayer, who is sitting in meditation, who thinks about divinity, if he is killed at that moment, he will get salvation. So a criminal, a sinner should not get salvation. So he will be beneficiary. If I kill him, I will be a criminal. And you see, this is to be and not to be condition. A man who went with a promise to kill his uncle Claudius, he decided that. And when he starts and supposed to proceed in this condition, he is in to be and not to be condition. That whether should I kill to this man? If I kill, he will get salvation because he is in prayer. He is in divine atmosphere. You see. And I will be murderer, he will be gainer, he will be beneficiary, and he come back. Right? So he it is a step to his seal back. And this is the first attempt. And in second attempt, when he went to kill Claudius, he found him sleeping in deep sleep, in slumber. And the man who sleeps very peacefully, if he is killed, then he cannot suffer from any pain. Right? And the person who kills him, he's a coward. A coward can attack to a man who is not in position to fight with him. You see, this is also this thing that we also come upon, to be and not to be. He's going to kill, but again he come back. And his conscience, and when he goes to attack a person, the animality, the inhumanity arouse him to do that action. But the moment he reached at the stage, he applied his second thought. He applied his conscience. And due to that conscience, you see, due to that conscience, he come back. He come back and he thought I should not do that. You see, and this is a madness. This is a madness of Hamlet. He he should be he should carry out his own promise, but he didn't do that. And on the other hand, Gertrude tries to bring back the relationship by exposing the secrets of, Claudius. And she thought my son was in problem. And had I not given any idea regarding the plan and programs of Gertrude, you see, he might be killed at any moment. And to save, you see, the mother was in problem. And he thought to kill his mother. But when mother showed her sympathy, her motherly attitude towards her son, and the thought of Hamlet changed. And here, Hamlet again thinks, what should I do? Should I be revengeful to my mother, Gertrude, or should I excuse her? Should I grant her pardon? What should I do? To be and not to be. But anyhow, again he is defeated. He is defeated in first attempt, killing to his uncle. Second attempt, he failed to kill his uncle. And third attempt that he took for his mother Gertrude to kill her, again it has come to him in a reverse way. Rather, Gertrude captured the tender mind of, or the young mind of Hamlet. And Hamlet changed his attitude towards Gertrude. And Gertrude, she continued giving her son information regarding all that secret design being made and prepared by Gertrude. And Polonius. Polonius was the chamberlain, was a counselor, very faithful person to Claudius. He deployed to spy on Hamlet, to spy on every activities of Hamlet, because Hamlet was in love of Ophelia. Ophelia was the daughter of Polonius, right? And Polonius, he became very technical man. We find him not the man of emotion, rather he was very considerate, and technically he deals with the matter. And he thought the message of my master is more important than the love of my daughter Ophelia with Hamlet. You see. So this man who stands as most selfish person, simultaneously he is also very faithful to his master Claudius. You see, Polonius, being the father of Ophelia, is not that important. Rather, the role being played by Polonius as the faithful persons of Gertrude, it's more important than the love of his daughter Ophelia. And it was Claudius who deployed Polonius to spy on Hamlet, to spy on Gertrude, to spy on love, you see. So Polonius, who stands as all these affairs. Now the things are very open. You can come to know that Ophelia, she was very loyal to her father, you see. So love became very omnipotent for Ophelia and for Polonius, like father, like daughter. You see, both they are tied in single thought, right? Ophelia is loyal to her father, Polonius, and Polonius is loyal to his master, Claudius. And now Hamlet he was alienated from the situation. Hamlet was alienated from Claudius, Polonius, but being the love, Ophelia, she also spied on Hamlet. And this made him madness, right? And this relation, for Horatio, the only friend, the only character in Hamlet who was always with Hamlet until last, he was with Hamlet. When he found the hero was in problem and hero may die after some times, Horatio promised, I don't want to lead a life without my friend Hamlet. I must kill to myself. But Hamlet, who advised him, who told him, you are the only witness who could describe the reality, right? You could describe the reality after this situation. And you see, we find Horatio is very dedicated. And he dedicated all his time and life for Hamlet, for his friend. And this relationship, in some extent, that we find with characters, are very deep in true sense. Now, we find when the activities of Ophelia, when the talking, the love conversation that was taking place in one room, in other room, Polonius was observing all these activities. And Polonius made her cautious that you please take yourself away. Should not anything happen, you should be cautious of that, you should be aware of that. And the activities of Ophelia, because if the relationship is true, if it is very deep or a heartly relationship, it is platonic in feelings, right? Platonic love. If love is platonic, then there is no problem. If love is materialistic, problem lies there. And it is guessed by Hamlet from the activities of his dear love, Ophelia. So he pretended to play the role of a madman, because Hamlet started pretending to be a madman. And Ophelia and Apollonius both they failed to study the psychology of Hamlet. Hamlet was so intelligent that he he belittled them. He made them foolish. The design they made to study the activities of Hamlet, if he had any plan and program to kill Claudius, if he had any future plan against the king Claudius, he was deployed for that Polonius, and Polonius deployed his daughter Ophelia. So Ophelia, though she was in true love, she was in real love with Hamlet, but she could not defy the advice of her father. And the activities of Ophelia that put him in suspective state. He thought Ophelia is not true to me. She is spying on me. And he started changing his rule. Hamlet changed his rule before Ophelia. And this thing that interrupted their relationship, the lovers' relationship, you see. And if you remember, the things of tradition and individual talent of T.S. Eliot, and he report one thing regarding the temperament of Hamlet. Hamlet is a character being created by William Shakespeare, and Hamlet lacked the sense of emotion. The emotion is expected with Hamlet in his role that is not seen in Hamlet. So Hamlet, in true sense, could not reach in that level. And later, he discussed that tension in Hamlet. In this term, tension in Hamlet. Hamlet is in tension. He is in one mission to kill or to take revenge of the murderer of his father. Now, he found everybody with suspective eyes, But in this time, at this critical juncture, it's only his mother Gertrude who became very close to her son Hamlet. And she was giving suggestion, she was advising that how to save her life. And as I told you, Claudius spied Polonius on the activities of Gertrude because Claudius was a very dangerous man. He was very intelligent. He was a man of very suspicion. As he committed that crime, he found all are villain before him, even if to whom he married, even if the queen Gertrude was in suspective eyes of Gertrude. And he deployed Paulinus to observe, to watch the activities of Gertrude and Hamlet. On the other hand, Hamlet was declared mad. And Hamlet was declared mad because he was also sent to other state to be killed. It was Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Both were declared, both were friends of Hamlet. Both were friends of Hamlet. They, Claudius, to take Hamlet to Norway, and he wrote a letter with them that Fortinbras, right? Fortinbras, you please kill, because Fortinbras was the king of Norway, and Fortinbras, he knew that it was Claudius who killed his father, the king of Norway, and he mentioned in that letter that the enemy of your father is with you, and you may kill him. But Hamlet could know this matter. He knew these secrets and come back and gave information that the ship was on the verge of wreck, so that we come back again. He escaped and come back to his state. So it was Gertrude who gave this information that you will be killed at any moment. When the talking of son and the mother was taking place in the room, behind the curtain, it was Polonius who was hiding himself and listening the talk of Gertrude and Hamlet. Hamlet thought it must be Gertrude, his uncle, must be hiding behind this curtain and must be listening to their speech, to their conversation. So, in opposite side of the curtain, he stabbed the man. He thought he must be Claudius, but actually he was Polonius, and Polonius killed there. He could not give any information to King Claudius because regarding the activities of mother and son, and he was murdered there, right? So it was the problem that aroused here, and we find that Polonius was killed, and Ophelia was informed that your Hamlet had killed your father, and Laertes, the son of Polonius, who was studying in universe, he came in angry mood to kill Claudius, and he thought Claudius, he had killed to my father Polonius because he was chamberlain and he was a very faithful advisor to the king, and the king must have suspected him in certain region, and he must have killed to my father. And when that Laertes came and reached in Scotland and went to Claudius, Claudius tried his best to convince him that I was not the murderer of your father. It was Ophelia's lover and Hamlet, who is mad, who had killed to his father. And he was convinced. Now, it was, you see, Laertes convinced that the murderer of my father was Hamlet. And Claudius succeeded convincing him in this way. On the other hand, there is no relationship we found with Ophelia and Hamlet. Hamlet and Ophelia was she became mad, right? She became mad, she frustrated when she was alienated and neglected by Hamlet, right? And she committed suicide in water, and she could not tolerate the absence of her father, because like all daughter are very emotional to their father. That is displayed by, that is reflected by Shakespeare here. But the thing is there, one thing that I would like to say you here, that this is designed. So law, the matter of law has been neglected here. In case of Ophelia and Hamlet, Hamlet was more faithful, and he was in deep love with Ophelia. Ophelia did have shame in spite, but one thing, the villainous attitude, the villainous advice of Paulinus for Ophelia, that alienated both lovers, right? Ophelia is repenting, and she knew that it is my father who separated me from Hamlet. Rather, Paulinus told Ophelia that you should not marry to a madman. And Claudius, he also convinced Paulinus, you convince your daughter not to proceed with Hamlet because he's a madman. She should not have love with a madman. You see, and love is quite disturbed here. Now, when Laches is in mood to kill Hamlet, you see, at the death of Ophelia, when that dead body is carried in coffin to that burial ground, and Hamlet he drank a lot, and actually he was unable to walk, and he wanted to offer a bouquet in the coffin of his beloved Ophelia. And there, that the grave digger, when they were digging the grave, they found a bone, and they are also overrun. They are taking a piece of bone that they found at the time of digging the grave, and they asked to each other. So this may be bone of a male, and this may be a bone of a female. So they are arguing, and they are quarreling with each other for this region. And in this time, that Laches detected Hamlet, who was hiding and trying to offer a bouquet in the coffin of Ophelia. He attacked him. Both they fought with each other, and it was Horatio was present there, and Horatio brought him back. And Hamlet, he declared, I really had deep love with Ophelia, and it is the villains who separated her from me, separated me from my love, Ophelia. And you cannot have that much love with Ophelia. I had a love of 100 brother. Your 100-time love cannot be equal with my love. You may be brother to Ophelia, but the love I had, the deepness, the depth of love I had for Ophelia, you may not have the same amount of love because it cannot be measured. And telling this, he left that place because he was dissuaded by Horatio to leave that place. Otherwise, they would kill to each other. And you see, and it was Laertes who became scapegoat, who was convinced by Claudius that anyhow, if Hamlet escaped from this situation, let me arrange a duel, meant a fighting. He arranged duel in between Laertes and Hamlet. Okay? And here, in this context, a glass of poison, that a sherbet, was kept on the table. Both the king and queen, they're sitting in arena and they're observing the duel. And Claudius informed to Laertes that there is poison in your sword, and if it cuts the body, if you kill him, it's okay. If he's not died, he tried to kill you, but he must have been wounded, and that little wound will kill him after some times. Now, the sherbet was kept on the table. Both the king and queen, they were observing that duel, and Gertrude found that if Hamlet killed Laertes, so he might come to this table to have a drink. And the king had arranged and put that sherbet there. If Hamlet would drink that, then he would kill, he would be dead. So before this thing happened, she drank that sherbet and felt unconscious. And when she fell unconscious, it was Claudius who left that place. He could not. Uh, because that Claudius left that place, and Gertrude exposed the design of Claudius before Hamlet. That this is the thing, and killed Laertes. Neither Laertes nor you, none of you will alive. So when he came to know that, and it was Laertes, he came to know that the true mother exposed the reality to her son before the situation going to be ended, and he also exposed this thing to Hamlet, that I was motivated by Claudius to kill him, and there was poison in my sword. I have wounded you, so that you have killed me. You have wounded me. I am going to die. So before death takes place to me, before death comes to me, let me tell the truth. Actually, I was convinced by Claudius to kill you, and all this plan was designed. And when Hamlet came to know this, that after some time he will die, he ran after to kill his uncle Claudius, right? And he succeeded, and that happened. Claudius lost his life because he knew there is no alternative, and Hamlet is going to die. And Horatio, he promised before his friend Hamlet, as you are going to die, being being a friend, being a true friend, I don't like to lead my life in absence of my true friend Hamlet. Let me die also with you. Let me drink poison and uh, go to another world. I cannot tolerate your death, your absence. But it was Hamlet who told, you should not, you should not think like this, because 14 glass is there. He is coming with his army to attack on Norway, on attack on Scotland. So Fortinbras is the only young man who could enjoy, who could annex Norway with Scotland. And you are there to observe this coronation ceremony in Scotland, and Hamlet exposed all these things before Fortinbras, because Fortinbras, when he came to know that all the enemies, all the killer of his father who died before he came, so he thought actually Hamlet was the real prince of Scotland, and he must be all his funeral ceremony should take place with royal escort and with royal regards, so that the coronation, after that the funeral ceremony of Hamlet took place simultaneously. And this is end of the play Hamlet. It is a tragic play. Hamlet is the tragic hero, and we don't expect the death of a hero, but the hero Hamlet died himself. The hero, even if his beloved Ophelia, she was not alive to repent or to express her lament at the death of Hamlet. And no one is there except Horatio to express the lament at the death of Hamlet. The whole country holds that Scotland, they lamented upon the death of Hamlet. And this is tragic drama of William Shakespeare. And that you see, in beginning of this drama, I was talking to you regarding that destiny is character is destiny. What they did, that came to their life as destiny, right? What our action is our fate. Our action is our fortune.
Is there anyone I can speak to from RC Bhubaneswar? Classroom 2 RC Bhubaneswar. Is there anyone I can speak to?
What is the matter?
I just wanted to get the recordings. It's okay. Let them reciprocate.
Okay, recordings I'll get from the administrator. I am just a participant here.
I know. That is what, no?
Just after finishing, you contact one teacher is sitting, right? One teacher is sitting with a black
He
blazer, right?
was. He was right now. He's not there. And the sir
Yeah, he
has.
might have gone somewhere. Just after finishing, you contact him. Even I will be needing one.
Yeah. Is
Thanks.
there any student from RC Bhubaneswar? Any
RC
student?
means Regional Center Bhubaneswar, right?
Ha. You're there. So can you, if they are not letting us access the recordings here, or they are not passing it on, can you just go there on the weekend and ask them for the recordings?
I have no idea, buddy. Even I am looking for somebody who knows about my subject and syllabus. Even I am new to the
No, that.
Yeah, just after finishing, we'll try to contact somebody. We'll try to get the recording. Even I also need the one. Need the copy.
Okay.
Just wait for. How long they will take? Any idea?
किस चीज के लिए? For what?
ये सॉरी आप किससे मनाबो?
I have no idea.
Okay.
6 p.m.
Timing is 4 to 6.
6 p.m. Just 10 minutes.
Yes.
I
अरे तो
don't
10
think it's
तो
gonna
ଚାହା
come back.
ପିଇକି ଆସିଲା ବେଳକୁ 6ଟା ବାଜି ଯାଇଥିବ ଆଉ ପୁଣି ସରିବ କଣ? ତ ସରିଗଲା ତାହେଲେ।
Maybe class over.
ଏଇ କଣ? ହଉ।
Hello. I think so. Class is over now.
Class is over.
I am asking because topic is completed.
I
Class
think
is
class is
over.
over now.
Class is over.
Shall we left?
ଏ କଣ ସବୁ ଛୁଆ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଜାଣି ହଉନି ଆଉ କଣ କହୁଛି।
ଗୋଟେ କାମ କରନ୍ତୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇଯାଆନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ କ୍ଲାସ ହିଁ ହବନି।
ଏଠି ପଛରେ କିଛି
Better.
କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଉତ୍ତର କିଛି ବହି ପତ୍ର କାଗଜ କିଛି ଦବନି।
Class is over.
ସେ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଯିଏ ଭଲ କ୍ଲାସ ନଉଥିଲେ।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ କ୍ଲାସ ମତେ
ଗୋଟେ ଦିନେ ଜଜ୍ କରନ୍ତୁନି ୱେଟ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ ଜଣକୁ କାହାକୁ